As I traveled up to the Akashic Records for the collective message for the month of November 2021, I arrived outside of the Akashic Records and the energy felt so much lighter than it has these past 2 months. When I went to go meet with my council inside of the records, their energy felt hopeful and light, and I could feel this sense of a shift in the tides. Like all of these energy beings, light beings, star seeds, all of these souls that have been trickling in and traveling in and pulling in to this earth plane are really starting to reach that tipping point, that point where the tide actually turns, the energy actually begins to feel a little lighter. The energy that I was pulling through, that I was really feeling through this read for the collective for November of 2021 is an energy of festive celebration, of joy, of exuberance. It felt kind of like a reprieve in the heaviness of energy, a time for us to enjoy ourselves and to live in this energy of possibility. Now, I'm actually going to skip ahead because I, at the end of the read, pulled a card for the month. And as I'm going back and reading what I wrote, the card fits in right here perfectly. So the card that I pulled is the Three of Scrolls. It's this energy of possibility, of opening up our minds, opening up our purview to be able to see more possibility and to look for the horizon, to look for something new and different. Specifically, the write-up in the book says, "This is a great time to broaden your horizons in both your personal and business lives. Don't limit yourself to only one direction. Your opportunities are greater than what you see. When you widen your scope, you'll find your way to limitless options and boundless wealth." As I continued to read the energy for the month, it did feel like a reprieve versus the work's done. The work is not done, but the tides are turning, things are shifting, there is an elevated energy, and at the same time, one of the things that's super important that really came through is for those of us who are here to what I call anchor the light. It's really important for us to embody those qualities, to embody the light. And when we are in the muck and we are stuck in all of the challenges that we are faced with, it's really hard to anchor the light, to be the light, to be that pillar of light. And so this month of November of 2021 feels like a reminder phase of, oh, right, I am the light. I get to be the light. I am here to embody the light. And that means that I get to show up light and joyful and celebratory. And so again, it might not be the end, the job is done, but it is a phase where we get to have that remembering of being light. And through this remembering, through this enjoying of celebratory energy and elevating our energy and firmly holding that light energy, we ring out these ripples. And then these ripples get to pulsate together. And as they form and pulsate together, it begins to deeply, truly elevate the energy of the earth. Something else that really came through during this reading had to do with parents, and not personally being a parent yet. It was interesting to have these messages come through for parents, and I'm very cautious about setting my ego side, my personal human side, to the side when I'm pulling down these readings, but there was definitely some times during this reading where I was like, does that mean I'm getting pregnant? Like, where am I at? So anyway, setting aside my personal human self, a clear message did come through for those who are parents, those who are about to become parents. And that message is to really nurture the spirit of your children. You recognize in them that light being energy, and the veil is very thin for them. Allow them to teach you and help you to remember who you are and your soul energy. So years ago, decades ago, it was about the parent teaching the child, and the energy really feels like it's shifting to the children teaching the parents and helping the parents remember. And these souls that have been coming in and that are still coming in, they're here to usher Earth forward and the Earth energy forwards. At one point, it felt like the energy was that of protection and almost combative. And now, again, it feels like the tides, the energy has shifted, and the new energy that's coming in is more about moving forwards versus that combative, protective energy. So it's less on the defense and it's more on the offense. And with that, it is really important for parents to nurture the energy of their children to really help them to move their energy forwards and to give them a layer of, it's almost like an energy shield. So it's not like hover parenting, but it's almost that like layer of energy shielding so that their true soul energy is able to do the work that it's here to do. So instead of trying to fit them into the molds of what we've come to consider to be normal, it's recognizing their energy and shepherding it into maturity so that they're able to do the work that they're here to do. I hope that makes sense. Now, something else that really brought through is for these children who are already here, these souls who are already here and who are beginning to mature, you may have come across them in a work environment or through social media, and their soul is so much older and so much more mature and so much more elevated than their earth years portray them to be. And so when you recognize that and when you connect with and see their vision and connect with their vision, for those humans who have more earth years, it's really beneficial to put that maturity, that earth maturity behind these souls and to give them credibility through your earth years. So you can steward through being a parent, and you can also steward through providing credibility. So it's not even really mentorship because they don't necessarily need that, but it's recognizing them and getting behind them and providing them with earth years credibility. Then the message that came through there to succinct that up is, it would be wise for us to listen, learn, and assist. So the third part of this message that came through, part number one being just like the overall energy of celebration and a reprieve. Part number two being this parental message, this stewarding, shepherding, providing credibility message. And then part number three was this sense of these higher dimensional souls who either have never been to Earth before or have only been to Earth a few times at very pivotal moments in the energy shifts coming down to Earth now. And this is a vibrational shift that feels like it's only ever happened when there is a change of a civilization. Like this is the big stuff. And this is the type of energy shift that is 100% from the light. It is 100% for the good of all of us. And at the same time, this is that undercurrent of energy that shifts. And that type of shift and change can create even more division than what we're experiencing now. There are going to be souls who are going to be hanging on to the way that they're familiar with, because there's an undercurrent of energy that's changing drastically, and consciously we're not aware of it, but subconsciously there will be acting out, there will be temper tantrums, there will be those who cling on to the past the way it has been, the way that they feel comfortable and familiar with. Now, that said, this energy shift is a true from the light total change in energy. At least like that was the vibe, that was the sense that I was really getting as I was pulling this information in. And so the message that came through with that, especially with the duality of it, is that there will be people who lash out and are big and expressive in a very detrimental way. And it's important to be mindful of this energy, but not give it energy. So that means that we don't give it credibility, we don't give it attention, we don't give it publicity, and we don't bend to its will. We recognize that it is a soul or a human ego experience that is struggling with this shift in energy because it has fear, it has uncertainty, it doesn't know what it means for it. And so we can be aware of it, we can be mindful of it, we can recognize it. And at the same time, we don't want to give it energy, we don't want to give it credibility or feed that fear, feed that ego. We want to acknowledge it as a wound, as a hurt, as a fear, and then we continue to move forwards and we allow it to come with us when it's ready. And it was so interesting because as I was pulling down this third part of the message, I was like, why does this feel so different? Like the past 2 months have had a very different energy, a very different feel to them. What just happened? What just shifted in November? And it was interesting because it flagged to me that, oh, we have November 11th in November, obviously. And I'm not usually one for portals, and it's weird because for me, I live in Canada, and November 11th has always been a very somber day. It's our Remembrance Day, and in Canada, our Remembrance Day is extremely somber. And so this spirituality, this November 11th, 11/11 energy really came with this message of the veil is thinner, the remembering is stronger from a spiritual lens versus the somber war lens. And it really feels like more souls are dropping in right now, and the souls who are here are remembering who they are and their connection to all that is, their connection to source and light energy. So to wrap this all up, the big theme here is to take some time through this month to connect to your infinite self. Sit in and experience the joy of being an infinite soul, of remembering that you are an infinite soul, that you are connected to all that is, in the experience of being human, which gives it a unique quality, a unique flavor. Having that remembering of being an infinite soul when you'd previously forgotten. And overall, this energy is that of joy and of light and of reprieve and of celebration. And so embrace it, enjoy it, play with it, experience it from this place of remembering and being human and physical. I hope that message really hit for you in one way or another. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.